Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe, and today I'm going to show you how to get this sexy, sultry, summertime smoky eye with glossy lips and glowing skin. I'm going to show you how I like to cover my eczema and make it look smooth. So first things first, I gotta get this eczema, looking bright. So I'm going to use my Body Radiance in Rose Gold by Glam by Melanie Mills. This is a body makeup, but I love it as a primer because it dries really nicely. Doesn't leave any oily parts on your skin, but it gives a nice sheen that actually blurs the skin and makes it look nice and smooth. This is a great way for people with oily skin who want to have a sheen without being oily. This is my Prolong Wear Foundation in NW43. This has got a matte finish and it's 15-hour wear, so it stays really well over top of the patches on my skin. It doesn't get patchy on me throughout the day. It stays put, and it looks really great with the Body Radiance underneath to give myself a sheen. And I'm going to take my Studio Finish Concealer by MAC and tap where I want the most product. So underneath my eyes, I'm not going to put any on my rash or any areas on my skin that are patchy. Sometimes putting too much product on patchy skin can make it look more patchy and gunky. So just use a thin amount of something full coverage in the areas that you normally would and let it blend to those areas on its own. If a little bit of the rash shows through, that's fine. You got a rash. What are you gonna do? Just blend the same way that you normally would and try not to get too much product on those rashy areas. So I'm just giving it a nice little tap, blending down the center of the nose, center of the chin, center of the forehead. And I'm going to take my Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlighter, avoiding the rash because it will look more patchy if I highlight it. I'm going to go down the center of my nose, top lip, tops of the cheekbones, just get a glow on, So this is my Up For Ever Profusion Bronze in 30M, and I'm using my Smith Cosmetics 124 brush to snatch my nose. I like a brush like this because it's easy to follow your bone structure. And this is my Morpher M402 brush. I'm going to do a light layer over top of the area that is kind of rashy, just so it can kind of settle in and I guess absorb into the makeup. And I'm going to work on the other side, which isn't as patchy, and I'll be going back over to that first side because I know it's dried and I can add a little bit more on and it'll go on quite a bit smoother. Now with my NYX Ombre blush in Strictly Chic, I'm going to rosy up my cheeks a little bit for a little, flush rosiness. And I'm going to go into my World Traveler palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills into the color Fudge. And this is my Zoeva 234 brush. And I'm just going to pack it on the outer V of my eye in kind of a rounded, angled shape. And I'm not using a primer or anything. I'm just using very little product and tapping it on to start the shape that I want to create. I like using very little and layering it instead of using primers, just so you can kind of see your skin underneath. And I'm going to take the color Morocco. This is the 228 brush by Zoeva as well. And I'm going to blend underneath my lash line and into the crease. Again, using very little product, starting where you want the most product and pulling it outwards to have a nice soft look. And really layering it on. If you use a little bit and layer it, it will go on a lot smoother than if you just go in with a ton of product and try and blend that out. Start with a little bit, add more. It's a lot easier to add more than it is to take off and start again. With the color Soft Peach, I'm going to highlight underneath my brow bone. It's very similar to my skin tone, just a little bit lighter. I don't like a shimmer for my brows because they're so high, so I'm using something matte. I'm going to go back in with that Fudge color and my flat shader brush again, and I'm going to pack right on the outer corner of my eye to add a little bit more drama. So again, layering over those already blended areas will make your darker colors blend a lot easier. So I'm going into my crease and I'm pulling it outwards. Same thing on the other side, blending it out, the drill. Then I'm going to take this black color called Noir from the same palette, and I'm going to tap right along the lower lash line on the outer half, I guess, and wing it out a little bit. I'm just tapping it, and it's blending really easy because we already did all the work blending with those brown shades. With my Laura Geller highlighter, again in Gilded Honey, I'm going to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. I'm not really going on my eyelid. I'm going to the very tip of the inner corners of my eyes and blending it closer to the bridge of my nose almost, and I want a nice big highlighted area, which will give your eyes a nice big look and kind of like a doe-eyed kind of thing. With the colors spoiled, I'm just going to tap over that blank area on my eyelid to help blend those colors together. I wanted it to be kind of like a soft ombre effect on the eyes almost, so I'm keeping it very bare. There we are so far. So now I'm going to take my Tarte Lights Camera Flashes mascara and do a light coat on the top and a lot heavier of a coat on the bottom. And for my lashes, I'm using 2 pairs of the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes, and I'm working it down as close as I can to my lash line. This is like a waterproof lash glue. I find it a little bit more on the wet side, so you have to make sure you're taking your time and adhering it to your eyelashes or to your lid. And I'm just working it down as close as I can. And hey, it's a Laura Geller highlighter again, and I'm putting it on my lips. So I'm going to put this in the center of my lips. The gloss I'm using doesn't really have any sheen in it, so I like to create my own kind of, there it is, sorry I forgot to show it. I like to create my kind of own soft metallic looking gloss, because a lot of times shimmery glosses don't have a lot of color to them. I like glosses with a bit of pigment to them. This one's almost like my lip color, so it's great for overdrawing the lips. It'll give kind of like a nice radiant sheen in the center of the lips without it being a full-on, you know, sparkly gloss. So this adds a little bit more sheen, a little bit of a smooth look to the lips, and I'm just layering it right on. Hey, sexy face. So that completes the look. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow, and love yourself and stay pretty. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So if there's any other summer looks you want to see, comment below and let me know which you want to see created. Anyways, I will see you guys again in the next video, and take care.